Chapter 5. Marguerite waited for what must have seemed like 15 minutes. The next set of waves rolled in, but none of them seemed to break. They rolled under her on their journey to the beach. Things are starting to peter out, she thought. One more good ride and I'm calling it quits. Marguerite turned her board halfway towards the beach and glanced back. The lull allowed the shadows amid the small ripples to be seen. Out of the corner of her eye, Marguerite spotted a few bubbles, kicked up by a ripple. The ripple rose to a black fin that glided in a smooth, quick fashion. Marguerite froze with panic. She looked back again. What she hoped was another water shadow playing tricks on the eyes turned into her worst nightmare. She blinked her eyes and looked again. The fin gained height above the water, and an instant realization hit her that that was no dolphin. The back of the jet-black fin was ruler straight. Shark! All Marguerite could feel were high-pitched screams of terror that rang through her head. Her body tingled with the sensation of 1,000 needles being jabbed into her skin. Oh God! Paddle! Paddle! Her mind permitted nothing else for thought. The next thing Marguerite realized, she was stroking her arms furiously, like never before, toward the shore. After 5 futile strokes, she lost her balance and slipped off the right side of her board into the water. I'm finished. Marguerite's head resurfaced above the water, and she scrambled atop her board. She paddled with even greater ferocity now. The ocean betrayed her. Despite her desperate paddling, no waves to push her faster in toward shore. The lull had become a curse. God, I'm moving so slowly. I'm a sitting duck. Waves, come on! Marguerite kept up her frantic paddle. The first rational thought that crept into her head was the realization that a human's speed in water was pathetic compared to the speed of a shark, especially a shark that was honing in on a target. Marguerite knew she was still in water that was over her head. She dared not to hop off to test the depths with her feet. She was at least 30 yards from shore, but it seemed more like 30 miles. Then the next set of waves started pushing her forward. Thank God, come on, get me there. Marguerite continued her furious strokes. Suddenly, she looked down and yanked her arms out of the water. She spotted a large brown shadow that passed under her board. The 7-foot death machine took a hard turn to the left, passing under, and surfaced its fin. Before Marguerite could conjure a thought, the next wave slammed her forward another 5 yards. Her speed was picking up now. She looked off to the left, and, to her horror, noticed the shark was keeping pace with her board. The fin matched the board speed, and then passed in front of her board. The menacing figure, which Marguerite guessed was a bull shark, passed around the board to the right and disappeared. It's circling me. Oh no. God, get me to the beach, please. 20 yards remained. She knew that she could touch down in water 10 yards out from the shore, but that didn't matter now. She could feel the fatigue gathering in her arms like setting concrete. Her heart thumped wildly against the board, and her pulse vibrated loudly in her eardrums. She looked behind to see another wave approaching quickly. I'm almost there. Come on. Suddenly she felt her board rock violently upward. She fought to stay on it. Marguerite knew that the shark had just bumped her. It was a typical prelude to a fatal attack. After grabbing the board's rails with both hands to maintain balance, Marguerite scooted herself to the board's center again. She glanced off to the right and noticed the black eye of the shark just below the water's surface. It had tilted itself for a turning motion. She watched the door.